Hi, this is Adrienne Hugh from NourishingJourneys.com. In the last video, I showed you how to do research on international flights using Continental.com, which from my area of New Jersey is actually one of my preferred airlines to use. Now I'm going to show you how you can bring down the price of that even further. Now I'm going to warn you that I let way too much time pass between when I did the first video and when I'm doing this video. So the prices you're going to see now, which is 2 weeks before I am traveling, are going to be a little bit higher than what I discovered when I actually did the research, but I'm still going to walk you through it. And so here we're at cheapair.com. I do love cheapair.com for excellent fares. I went to Spain last year in the height of the summer for only $500 per person, and so it was fantastic. The only problem with cheapair.com is that they do not have insurance that you can purchase for an extra $10 or whatever. So if you do buy tickets with them, I suggest that you find a good insurer. If you don't believe me that it's worth it, go and read the article on NourishingJourneys.com called The $2,000 GPS. In any case, here we are, Newark, New Jersey to Madrid, Spain. I've put those locations in. I also put in the dates of my departure and return. I'm not going to go through the rigmarole of putting in, how many passengers, but we're just going to go ahead and check those fares now. And like I said, the fares that you're going to see are going to be a little bit more expensive than what I actually found when I was searching prior. Okay, so here we go. Loading. Okay, so this is not bad. Now keep in mind, what we were looking at on Continental.com was about $650. That was including the taxes, $650 per person. And here on Cheap Air, one of the things I really like is that all of the rates shown include tax. So you don't get all hyped up thinking that you found a fantastic fare of $300 only to find out that it's really $700 once the taxes are added. I'm going to choose this one because it's with Iberia, which is a Spanish airline, and it's going out of JFK, which is farther from my house, but still very doable. But the reason why I'm choosing it there is because it actually says nonstop, and you can see that they have several nonstop flights. One leaving 6 p.m., 9 p.m., and then returning. I'm going to take the 9 p.m. and then returning the next, in 2 weeks from then. Actually, there is a one stopover. So yeah, there would be a stopover, which I'm not too surprised because sometimes, for whatever reason, direct flights coming back from Spain are much more expensive. You could go up for $100, or you could do a connector flight. When I leave a country, I try not to leave too early in the morning because there's always so much stuff to get ready, especially having 2 children. So I would take the later of the flights, which is 9:50 a.m. And that would still leave us at $626. And like I said, the reason why I like this website so much is because, they're reasonable in price. So here you see where the connecting flight, we would have to fly from Madrid to Barcelona, and then from Barcelona back to New York City. And there's about an hour and 40-minute layover, which is not ideal. They generally recommend a 2-hour connecting time, just in case the first flight is a little bit late. But the airports in Spain tend to be fairly small, so it's usually not a problem, and I would easily opt for this. Now, what I ended up doing with my flights was I actually am going out of Newark. Oh, the price on this fare has changed. I didn't even see that. So it's $740. Okay, like I said, this is only 2 weeks before the flight is happening. The flights that we ended up getting for our trip ended up most of them, we actually had a lot of points that my husband racked up flying for work, as well as for our credit cards. So we're probably only going to spend about $200 for all 4 of us to travel at the end of the day. However, The flights, when I was checking them on this website, flights direct from Newark, New Jersey to Madrid round trip, were only $585 round trip, which is phenomenal. And then there's another website that we found around the same time, which is Fly Cheap Abroad. I've also used this a number of times, and their flights actually were a little bit more expensive. But let me see. Yeah, I mean, they're just good to have in your arsenal because you never know. At one point, they were actually a little bit cheaper than Cheap Air, and in the end, they ended up being, I think, $606 was the amount that they were looking for. But we kind of did a few little changes in our itinerary where we are going to Barcelona for a week out of the 2 weeks that we're going to be there. So that also changed. But as you can see here, it's 664 total. These are actually the flights that we're taking, and you can see that there's this airline, as a smaller airline called Spanair, that would be, if you wanted to take this flight, you would take from Madrid to Frankfurt to Newark. And Spanair, you know, when you see these small airlines, these are a good way of figuring out if you can do some internal flying. It's not as restrictive anymore to have to fly in and out of the same airport. So we, I took note of Spanair, and their flights between Madrid and Barcelona were about, I believe they were about $40 or $50 for one person, which is actually fantastic because it's about an hour flight. But if you were to take the train from Madrid to Barcelona, that would be considerably more, at least $100 per person. And then, just the rigmarole of trying to get onto the train. You've got luggage, you've got children, you've got strollers and all these things, and trying to, run down a train platform is not fun when you have all that stuff in tow, because they usually only give you about 5 minutes to load the train. In any case, we ended up being able to get one of these small airlines just through our general research, similar to what I just showed you, by going to a website such as Travel Ticker, which is run by Hotwire, and you see these little links here to different websites. This is how we found actually our flight, and we ended up finding flights that cost less than $30 for each person to fly to Barcelona from Madrid, and that includes one piece of luggage that would be checked per person. So we really were able to do this on a fantastic budget, and I think that with these tips, you will be able to as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to visit nourishingjourneys.com, or you can ask me here, and I hopefully will be able to get back to you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.